All right. One of the topics everyone's always asking about is how do I get a head gasket for my engine? Well, not all of them are available, so you make one. My favorite material is this MP15 interface material. It comes in about a 1 foot by 2 foot sheet. I always buy it at Portland. You can use whatever you want. Yes, I know. Some guys prefer to just track down and spend more money on more expensive materials, but I've had good luck with this. So this is what I use, and also I like using it because it can be cut with scissors, ordinary house scissors. That's my dog in the background if you hear extra noise. So one easy method, if you have a head gasket, you can trace it down, and then you can use hole punches. They actually make gasket cutting hole punches, and then you stab the hole, you punch holes in with a hammer. Or another method is you use a regular standard ball peen, not the flat face side of the ball peen hammers, the rounded sides of the ball peen hammers. And it'd work better if I had a bench, but the benches are kind of full and it's hot out, so I'm just going to do this in the house today. So you lay it so you're going to have, you make sure that it's going to cut out the full gasket. I can feel the two valves through there. And the center is right about there. I'm going to use the bigger, and you just go around the center. And you can start to see where the high point is. By using the rounded edge, it actually cuts the material quite well. Try not to get your fingers. And of course it moved on me, because why not? It's not perfect, but if I had... Okay, you know what? We're just going to cut this down so we have less to work with. That way it's not dragging down the sides. And if you're successful, you'll have a nice ring. And with this, you can actually shave it just a little with a utility knife if you need to. But we're getting it to work. Okay, nice and tight. On that. Then you just have to punch out the holes for the studs. Maybe it'll work better with the smaller one. Oh yeah, the smaller one's actually the ticket. Right about there. Right about there. Okay, then for the cooling passage. Switch to the bigger one. There's that one. And this one has a smaller. And just like so, try not to rip it getting it off. Okay. And you just peel the pieces out. It actually works well to use a utility knife blade. And of course, I dropped it inside there. Because why not? But I was able to get a hold of it. Good. Okay, so now that we've done that, you can just lay it back. You know, because you have an exact pattern of where the bolt holes are, the coolant passages, and everything. Now you just go around the outside edge. Now the exhaust port is right there. That's the intake port. Oh no, that's the intake port. Oh, that's the push rod guide. Excuse me. So now we got the majority of it. It's pretty evident where we're going. And there's that piece. And there is a head gasket that fits exactly how this head needs to seal. And this head's off of a 4.5 horse power United Type A. But you can do this for whatever engine you want, as long as the piece of material is big enough to fit. Like I say, I use this because it's cheap and it's pliable and it works good. I've had long life out of these. I believe it's the gasket out of like a Cummins N14 pan gasket, and that's why it looks the way it does on the outside edges. But I buy it from Flywheel Supply. You can use whatever you want. You can use the hard green stuff that's hard to work with and sometimes rips when you're cutting it. You can use asbestos like they originally came with. You can use some high-dollar Felpro stuff, but I buy this for like $1 or $2 a sheet at Portland, so I can make a bunch of them for the price of 1 foot square for more expensive materials for the price of this. And as you've seen, it only took a couple minutes, and I have a good ready to go gasket with nothing but a couple ball peen hammers and a utility knife. So I'll put links into where I get if you need to buy it online and you don't get to the Portland Tractor Show, I'll put a link to that material. But